Welcome back to Camp Out West and our journey of turning our abandoned land into a sustainable homestead and guest campsite. If you watched our last video, we started work building our wood-fired sauna area for our future guests. If you missed it, you can watch it here. And in today's episode, we start work rewilding our land. We plant over 550 trees, build our sun-tracking solar array from EcoWorthy, and continue on our tiny house build. We also have a really exciting giveaway for you at the end of this video. So we hope you enjoy watching, and don't forget to subscribe if you want to see how we get on.
Today we're doing a slightly different job, completely new job to us. So we're going to be planting our first ever trees on the land. This is something we had planned to do last winter, but we just ran out of time. So we're nearly running out of time this year. So we're in the last week really to plant bare root trees. So we're going to be planting 550 of these bare root hornbeam trees to make a hedge down our fence line here. We asked advice from Andrew, the guy that we bought the plants from, and he plants hedges for a living. And he said one of the main things that stunts the growth with hedge plants and trees in general is competing with the grass or the weeds. So the first thing we do is prep the site. So we're going to go all along the hedge and just trim it back to the soil basically, just so there's no weeds to compete with. So that's our first job, and then we're going to put a string line, so hopefully we can plant them in a nice straight line. The spacing for these to get a nice dense hedge is 5 plants per metre. We're going to do them in a slightly staggered formation, so then you get a thicker hedge. And my dream is in 5 to 7 years time that I go on a course and I can learn how to lay this hedge over, because that's a recent obsession that I've had. My original plan was to plant a beech hedge because I love that it keeps its leaves into the winter. We want to have privacy with the hedge, but also it's going to protect us from the wind and the rain that drives up here. But our gardener friend Adam had seen our site, and he thought that the clay soil really wouldn't suit that type of tree variety, and we'd be better off with the hornbeam. So it's in the same family as beech, so this also keeps its leaves. So even in its dormant state, you can see that it's kept the leaves on it. So we're really excited to plant this. First job was trimming back all the grass and weeds along our fence line to give us a nice clean area for planting our hornbeam hedging. Grass cut, we then set up a string line 60 centimetres off from the fence to give the hedge space to grow into, and then we were ready to start planting our first trees. We pre-soaked the roots before planting and used bamboo canes with tree guards to protect them from the weather and our resident rabbits. Would you believe our biggest threat on our land for the safety of these plants is actually Maggie? She's got quite the rap sheet of offences when it comes to destroying saplings and little trees. So now we're done planting the saplings, we're going to be protecting them from the weeds and the grass. We're going to be using the Charles Dowding method. So that's using 2 layers of cardboard to put on top of the weeds instead of using sort of a plastic membrane. And then we're going to be adding organic matter on top. So we're going to be using quite chunky compost as well as some wood chip. So that's going to help weigh down the cardboard, which is going to block out the light. And also as all that stuff breaks down, then that's also going to feed the hedge. When we went to get the hedge in the other day, we happened to go past a garden centre that had a used wood chipper for sale. So we weren't looking for a wood chipper, but we were actually planning to rent one for a couple of days because we've got a couple of brash piles on the land that need tidying up. But it actually worked out cheaper for us to buy this second-hand machine. It had a service and all that sort of stuff. So we've got that now. It can chip up to 5-inch branches, which is amazing. And we're going to be using that this afternoon to make our wood chip.
First, we headed down to our local recycling centre to pick up some compost. They make the compost from our county's green recycling waste, and you just turn up with your trailer and they fill it up for you free of charge. We underestimated the weight of the compost when they dumped it in the trailer and almost had a heart attack when they dropped the first load. Oh my god. How much can the trailer take? On the way home, we stopped by some local shops to see if we could get any cardboard they didn't want that we could use as a weed suppressant to add our mulch on top.
Once we were home, we spent some time removing any tape or plastic from our cardboard, giving them the best chance to be able to break down, and then we were ready to lay it around our freshly planted trees. Cardboard done, it was time to add our compost. Compost done, next Em put our new wood chipper to work and we were ready to add that on top. While the weather has been nice, we've been working outside and then coming to work inside the cabin in the evenings. This week in the night we started work on the internal cladding, thanks to everyone that gave us advice on the best method for attaching the tongue and groove. We did some tests with our little 18 gauge stapler nailer and it actually left horrible marks in the wood, so we invested in a second fixed nail gun which has 16 gauge nails and seems to hold the boards on a lot stronger. This will come in really useful for future jobs, so we're glad we bought it. Ideally, we would have bought big sheets of cladding, but as we're building onto a chassis, we have to be really careful with the weight of material we're using. So we've opted for individual pieces of cladding as it was much lighter than the manufactured MDF sheets. It also smells amazing. We really wanted to give it the ultimate mini cabin vibe, which is why we opted for the vertical cladding. Our plan for the cladding once it's all up is to paint it all a crisp white to really open up the space and make it feel fresh and bright, and then we'll be warming it up with natural wood and brown furnishings. So last night we came into the cabin and we got started on our tongue and groove cladding. So we've managed to clad this whole wall behind me now. So really excited to have this done. We've been prioritising this week working outside just because we've had really nice weather, and then we've been coming into the cabin in the evenings once it got dark. So we've got a really nice weather day today. So we're going to be doing another exciting job outside, and we're going to be setting up our solar array. So we're very lucky that we got sent a solar array from the brand EcoWorthy last year, and we're going to be setting that up. We're also doing a giveaway with EcoWorthy later in the video where 2 of you can win some of their solar panels, so stick around for that. First, we started work on the base of our solar array. We're going to be attaching the stand of our solar array onto a concrete form that we've made. So first job was digging a hole that we're ready for setting the concrete form into.
What's in the hole, Max? Dig, dig, dig. Dig, dig, dig. Dig, dig, dig.
Good girl. You can do it. Go on. She's having to really figure it out. Go on.
You're a problem solver. Fetch, fetch. Good girl.
Go on.
Oh,
Good girl.
good girl. Good girl.
Good girl. Good girl. Nice up there.
She can watch the girls from there, though.
Hole complete, we set it in the hole and added postcrete around the edges to fix it into place. We left it overnight and then we were ready the next day to drill into it and attach our solar stand in place.
They'd be selling a digger. Good?
Yeah, really strong. We use the compass to help us position the stand as it needs to be orientated correctly for north, south, east and west in order to get the best results from the tracking controller. The array holds up to 6 solar panels. We're using the eco-worthy 195 watt bifacial panels, which combined gives us 1,170 watts of solar. The bifacial panels have a transparent back, which increases the amount of light that can get to the solar cells. This increases the overall power created compared to using a single-sided solar panel. We finished assembling the solar array last night and we're really happy with it. It seems very solid. One of our concerns with our site, because we're up on the hill here, is in the wind and it getting damaged. But it does have a bit of a safety feature on it. So we've installed this wind sensor that comes with it, which is tracking the wind at all times. So if the wind gets to like a dangerous level, the solar array will actually be told to go completely flat, which gives it the least resistance to the wind. So that's quite nice to know that that's there. But we're going to try and show you now. Hook the battery up and watch it track the sun. Come on, Mags. What's this? So we're just giving it power to the 12 volt. So it should be waking up now. And then the sensor that's on the front here should try and track round then to where the sun is. There we go. So what's different with this compared to a static solar panel is that this increases the efficiency of the panels that you have by 40%. So that means you're going to get the most out of the sun that you've got, which in Wales is pretty rare, so you've got to do whatever you can to try and get the most out of it. But it's not loud and it's very smooth when it's working, so pretty cool. That's the end of today's video. Special thank you to EcoWorthy for sending us this solar array. We've teamed up with EcoWorthy to do a giveaway, so 2 of you watching can win one of their solar panels. And if you'd like a chance to win, just leave us a comment below on where you'd put that solar panel and we'll pick a winner in the next video. So that's the end of the video today and we'll see you next time. Okay.
Where's your toy?
Okay.
Fetch it.
Take it.
Take it, Max.
Come on. Okay.
Good girl.
It's too deep.
You can do it.
Come on, take it. Funny that when she's figured it out once.
Max, where's your toy? Where's your toy?